It's time for the best podcast around. Grab a cold one, sit back, and enjoy the show. This is Corner Pub Sports.
Hello, everyone. This is Mark McMillan, former Philadelphia Eagle. You're tuning in to the Corner Pub Sports.
Corner Pub Sports.
What is going on, everybody?
Whoa!
We are live at the local tap in Lansdale. For everyone who is here live or streaming, we thank you so much. And of course, if you're downloading the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher,
Satchel!
we thank you so much. So to start off the show, of course, there's a lot going on in sports. We have a special guest joining us tonight, Bridget Algio, author of The Football Family. She's going to be joining us tonight, along with Ronnie Algio. We're looking forward to that conversation. It's going to be a lot of fun. But to start off the show, the owners of Local Tap are here with us right now. Teresa and her daughter, Jana. How are you guys? How are you? So we've been here. We were here last July or August with Mark McMillan and Barrett Brooks. And we lost the audio of that show, so we're going to make up for it right now. So, Teresa, if you don't mind, first of all, thank you so much for having us. And if you don't mind telling us how, the Local Tap has started, how things have gone, because I know you have quite a story. So.
We have a story, yeah. So we've been here 3 years now. We were just recently voted best beer bar in Montgomery County.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So as you can see from the amount of beers that we have on our board, we are, all over the board in good taste. Jenna does all the buying for the beers, so she knows beer inside and out. But besides that, we also do some awesome craft cocktails. We do seasonal cocktails and change them 4 times a year, along with a nice assortment of wines. We have activities during the week, such as charcuterie building, painting with the twist. What else?
Did you do the goat? Did you do the goat thing yet? With the goats?
No.
No, you haven't done it?
I don't know how goats will fit in here. But it does sound very intriguing. We offer music on the weekends, on Friday and Saturday night. Of course, we've canceled music this weekend due to the Phillies, but we are doing a fun thing this weekend, giving away all kinds of Phillies swag and in between the games. And,
that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Beer is good.
Yeah.
Beer is good.
Beer is good. Beer. Oh, speaking of, sorry. I am drinking what am I drinking?
It's Daily Haze.
The Daily Haze. Very good. What are you drinking?
The Lucky Howler.
Nice. Very good. Very good beers.
So Jenna is the owner of Favorite Child Brewing. So you can go into that.
Yeah. So along with Local Tap.
Sorry. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Speaking loud.
Yeah.
Along with Local Tap, we also own Favorite Child Brewing Company. Right now, our house is here.
Nice.
Yes, for now. But right now, we have about 7 house beers on draft that are our beers. We are very fortunate enough to have my uncle, who owns a cannery, to make our beer for us currently.
Oh, wow.
Again, beer is good.
Beer is great.
Beer is great. We might have to change that. The beer is great.
I love beer.
I love
beer. Beer.
So okay. So I'm assuming how did this happen? How did you get involved with beer? How did you get involved? How did this whole snowball thing happen?
So we used to own the Village Tavern in Montgomeryville. We owned that for 23
Okay.
years. And it was time to time to retire, but not totally retire. And we just thought we should open a bar next,
That's all.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're actually, I am the fifth generation of beer.
Beer.
Fifth generation beer in the family, so to speak. So
Beer in the family.
Yeah.
Beer.
Sounds like a sitcom.
yeah, so
I'm in.
great grandfather owned a beer wholesaler, and my grandfather owned a restaurant and a beer distributor, and now I own a brewery. My uncle owns a brewery, and
Oh.
my parents own a bar.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that is so cool.
So beer is
Wow. Beer is great should be the name of the show. You're right. Beer is great with Bridget. Yeah, that's right. That's the name of the show.
Well, wait. Well, beer life and bar life. I mean, it's a tough life. It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but,
But-
it's great.
But here we are. Beer.
They're not clapping for us; they're clapping for the Phillies.
Yeah, they're
by
clapping
the
for the
way.
Phillies. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So as we're on Game 3 NLC, first of all, NLCS, the Phillies are in the NLCS. Like, who saw this coming? Game 3 right now. Phillies are at 1-0. They got a big hit. And you guys are doing a special thing tonight and tomorrow. For those who are listening live and you didn't make it out and you're a loser, you can make it out tomorrow, because what do you guys do? You guys are doing something special, right, for the games?
Right. Oh,
No, it's okay. You're her daughter. You can talk over it.
Let's hear it.
I'm the favorite child.
Oh, are you? Are you the only child? You're,
No.
oh, you have 5.
There's no favorites.
No,
No
that's
favorites.
that's where our name came from. That's where our name of our brewery came from. Is I'm one of 5 kids, so to vie for that favorite child spot, I am not, and I don't think I'll ever be the favorite child.
And she's not denying it either.
No, I know. Yeah, so I know for a fact I'm not the favorite child, but
Oh,
That's okay.
Okay.
We'll keep that secret.
I work with her, so it's good.
We're all
You know?
good.
Beer.
Yeah, and she
Oh,
is-
good for you.
oh, that is so cool. Though. Like a beer family. Like, when have you heard of a beer family? Great grandfather. Like, you know what I mean? Like coming down the line and just going, yep, this is the business we're gonna go in. This is what we're gonna keep doing. That's so cool. That is really unique. And so the place were you guys so was Local Tap always here at this location?
Yes, yeah.
Which is a great location here in Lansdale. The setup here is amazing. So you come in, you got your typical, you got your bar on the right and tables on the left, and here I am stuck in the middle with you. And then you come in the back.
Jokers to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I got cut off. So you come in the back, and then there's like, a Connect 4 and a bunch of TVs and a dartboard and all kinds of stuff, and you got bags in the back and like all kinds of stuff. It's such a great
Sean,
environment.
you always got to be careful with the back door.
You do.
The back door is trouble.
Yeah, you don't know who's coming in the back door. But it's a good time. Sorry.
The back door is dangerous.
But it's such a great setup. The entire place, like our first time here was last year, and like we had such a great time. Actually, my in-laws are here, and like they had a great time. And
Hey!
And we had such a great time last time, and I'm so glad that you invited us back for tonight.
thanks for
So
coming back. Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate it.
Great stuff.
Great time.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, enjoy
So-
the beer.
Oh, it's
Beer's great.
how can you not?
Beer!
So anything like coming up? Anything you want to promote? Anything like that?
Coming up, nothing in the works as of yet. Lots of good new beers coming out in the next couple of months, but we always have Little Dan's. We always have Schuylkill Haze. Those are our 2 house beers.
Mm.
We're very proud of them.
Schuylkill Haze is amazing.
Thank you.
Who don't love a haze?
So who has to spell that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I still can't spell it right.
Yeah.
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 Have you
Sure
ever,
kill.
have you ever seen the videos of the out of town sports guys trying to say Schuylkill?
Yes.
They're like,
Oh yeah.
Schuylkill? How do you say that?
Yeah, you can tell when somebody's out of town when they try to order that beer.
Yeah.
It's quite hilarious.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Like, thank you for having us. It's awesome. Local Tap, check them out. Local Tap on the socials. And of course, we thank Teresa and Jenna for jumping on and having us tonight. This is awesome. So Ryan and Mike are going to jump on here for a second because we're going to talk some Phillies, and then we're going to bring on our guest, Bridget Algio. Excuse me. Just for that, just for everybody.
Say excuse me.
I did. Rude. I did say excuse me. Who am I to judge? So the beers are so good though.
Beer.
Jesus Christ.
But of course, Local Tap, like
It pinches.
the fact that Local Tap brought us back again after last time is a good sign because we had an older lady walk by and go, "You guys should be ashamed of yourselves," and walked out. We're like, "Oh, whoa."
Homer Simpson would love this show.
Yeah,
Show her the Blue Waffle Show.
yeah, she's still here. She's up front. Yeah, I don't think so.
Waffle. What's a
She's like, them guys are here again. Ugh.
So before we bring Bridget on, we got to cover the Phillies, guys. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk before the
Amazing.
season? Like, I think all of us, like going into the season, we're like, all right, maybe they can sneak in the playoffs because there's an extra playoff spot. Because I think you're the one who brought up the thing, Ryan. If the extra playoff spot was in existence, the Phillies would have made the playoffs like 15 years in a row or something.
It was 14 years in a row from 2002 or so.
Really?
It's maybe a little earlier, but they would have made the playoffs 14 years in a row.
Then that makes
There was
sense.
a
Remember
format.
Brandon Duckworth? Remember the Brandon Duckworth years?
Whack, 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 whack.
And then the year before they made the playoffs in 07, 06, they lost to Houston
Yep.
at home to miss the playoffs, which was Ryan Howard's MVP season, which was more infuriating.
58 home runs.
But ask me what my kids'
RBI.
birthdays are. I forget.
But this dude with like dates, like I remember moments. I remember when that happened. This dude remembers the exact date that it happens.
Uh,
Yeah, that was 1993.
yeah.
Well,
August 12th, 1993. Grand Slam by Milt Thompson to win the game against the Mets. I remember that.
Isn't that your birthday?
It was about
Yeah, it was.
67 degrees.
It was. Yeah.
Light breeze.
Yeah.
Blowing
light
out
breeze.
to the
It was
east.
actually very humid that day.
Remembers what he was wearing and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, that being said, that particular moment, Milt Thompson was in his zone. He was
Yeah,
in his
man.
zone.
Yeah.
Actually, I apologize. It was Kim Baptiste. Kim Baptiste hit the Grand Slam.
No, he's taking a train back to Tennessee.
Kim Baptiste.
Kim
Didn't he
Baptiste.
pass? I think he passed away, didn't
Is Kim Baptiste dead?
he? Yeah, he died. Yeah, he.
All right, we need someone to do some research. Is Kim
Kim,
Baptiste
Kim
dead?
Baptiste did pass away. Yes. he
Where's
did.
Where can Baptiste be?
What?
Oh,
6
where,
feet
oh,
under,
be?
apparently.
All right, so back to the Phillies.
Yeah. Speaking of,
The Braves are 6 feet under. How about that?
Yes,
True.
yeah.
Along with the Mets.
Yes.
yep. So the Phillies right now, NLCS right now live as we speak.
Game three, top
Game three
three.
at home. All right. So you split at San Diego. The way I look at it, that's a win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They definitely blew an opportunity in game 2.
They
but,
sure did.
But they accomplished what they had to do. They had to get a split and
And you got a Ford Ranger pitching.
Ford Ranger.
A Ford Ranger.
Ford Ranger.
A Ford Ranger never dies.
Uh-huh, yeah. Yours apparently did.
Oh, nice play. Look at that. Yeah.
Nice play.
Segura made a nice diving stop. And
So
No,
no apologies,
But it
during,
didn't die.
but during the show, there's going to be random applause and us screaming.
you know what?
That's because we're
makes
watching
for
the
a great
game.
Show.
Yeah,
I think it's
just-
going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a nice crowd here tonight too. This is
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you guys for coming out tonight to watch
Thank
this shit
you.
show that we call a
Thank
podcast.
you.
Thank you guys. Don't lie, the Phillies are on. We get it. So
Nobody's here for Corner Pub Sports.
You're bribed. Yeah. I'll pay you later.
So yeah, no, I mean, so the Phillies played the Braves, and yeah, I mean, it was great start. Like Ranger had an awesome game, and last Friday we watched the game.
Pitched a lot though.
Yeah,
He had a lot of pitches, I should say.
yeah,
But he didn't get in trouble.
No,
Yeah.
I
and then it was so Friday was game 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
game 3.
Yep.
So they ended up taking
That was a game
2-1
Nola-
lead. Yeah,
that was the name. Nola was
Nola was dealing.
Yeah.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. And then then they, we felt good about
Saturday.
it. And then it was interesting though, because we were still worried about it because we had game 4 was a bullpen.
Syndergaard
Syndergaard
started
and a
it.
bullpen
Yeah.
game. And
I
then
think
game
it
5 was back in Atlanta, and we were worried about it. But game 4,
Like we did worry, but like you seen it, man. Like Atlanta, we just had them, man. We just
Yeah.
had them. The game, the series might have been a sweep if it wasn't for an error. Like you can't say how that game would have ended because it was
True.
nothing.
Yep.
But it might have been a sweep.
But
Yeah.
Go.
this you're
Going to the bottom of the third.
you're in the playoffs, man. This is what either Noah's on or he's not. You know what I mean? This is what happens. Let's move forward. You got Ranger Suarez pitching. Let's get this win.
By the way,
Really?
Gary, that's a really nice hat.
Right?
That's a really
Yeah, it
nice
is a nice
hat.
hat.
Isn't it?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's a nice item.
That's
Want to switch? You want to switch?
It's a good quality item.
That's a good quality item right there on your
Like
head.
see if I can fumigate this here chair.
That's right.
It's a good quality item.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
No, son, you gotta give me the panties.
I'm sorry. Is that enough for the compliments?
Stop. Okay, keep doing it. Yeah.
No, not
right.
that one.
All right. I don't have it on there right now. I took it off. That is a nice hat.
Thank you.
You got it at the Goodwill store?
Well, I'll get back to that. The Burgundy Phillies solid years hat. What you got?
Yes, the burgundy hat that Sean's wearing it is a solid hat. I agree.
Yeah, it's solid.
So 80 to 83, that was
The
it.
color
was-
is solid too.
It's solid. It's a solid color.
It's a solid color.
Yeah. It's not a primary, guys. So, what going into this series against San Diego?
But thanks.
San Diego, by the way, which means
A whale's vagina.
yes, it does. What are what are your expectations? What were your expectations? What were your expectations going into the series?
I felt like I felt like it was going to be a good series. I thought game 1 was really, really, really important, especially because you had Wheeler pitching
Suarez. Oh, which this series or last series?
this series.
This series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Once,
Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, first 3 games.
I did pick the Phillies. I still think they win the series. There's just something about them.
Right.
I mean,
This series isn't over. San Diego's going to fight. They're a good team, but I think the Phillies win.
but as Sean said, a wild penis is a wild penis.
No, so I think
Who said that?
I don't think I did.
I don't remember who saying that.
I don't
No,
remember saying that. Not today. Maybe yesterday.
I think that they take the series after the split. You still got Nola and Wheeler going another game. At worst, you split that. You might get both. So you just need one more out of the
Yep.
other
Yeah.
2-3 games, right? The other
Yeah.
2 games, right?
Mike, the fact that they split in San Diego was a win. 100% is a win. I don't care what would have happened after it. That's a win because you took their home field advantage away. You have now 3 at home in a row. You win 2 out of 3 at home. Guess what? You want to win 1 more
Yep.
in San Diego. You can do that. You already proved you can do it.
You won 3 of 4 in the regular season, and you won the first one.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And fun fact.
I mean, the Phillies advancing to this point. I mean, they're playing with house money.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're playing with house
Fun
money.
fact.
No, and see,
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh.
No, it's a fly ball, Mike. I'm an
Relax.
outfielder. I know.
calm
Yeah,
down.
So
All right. You know what? Earlier, we said the same thing about you. When the ball barely reached the outfield, you're like, oh, there it goes.
what, tonight?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Of course you didn't.
You guys screamed.
Yeah, I
You
know
guys
what
are the
you're
ones that
talking
screamed.
about.
I didn't see it.
Who cares? The Phillies are up 1-0.
I just went off a reaction. That's all I did.
Yeah.
So, fun fact:
The swing looked good.
the Philadelphia Phillies owned the greatest winning percentage in an opposing ballpark in MLB history in Petco Park. Minimum 50 games played.
Wow.
Minimum 50 games played. They have the highest winning percentage in any ballpark of any MLB team visiting a ballpark.
Let's go, Phillies!
That's crazy.
Let's go, Phillies!
Second was Atlanta and Florida. Atlanta in Florida, but the Phillies are above them. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Man.
It's
That's
like
crazy.
68% of the games or something
Wow.
like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
That's,
Yeah.
that
So all
bodes
the
well.
numbers point to the Phillies.
yeah. The fact that you split in San Diego is a win. I don't care how you look at it. It's a win.
I mean, Common Avenue is already shut down. Let's hear it. Let's
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, let's do it. But to Gary's point earlier, playing with house money,
Yeah.
I hear that they're not supposed to be here, and you
I'm
know,
not
you heard,
supposed
you
to be here today.
Right, they're not supposed to be here. They're not,
They're not.
but you are. So
Might as
like,
well.
like that mindset, because you're not the first person I had that has said that, obviously, but that mindset that's out the window. You're here. You took game 1.
They weren't supposed to
Like
be there
win
in
the
08
series.
either.
Right.
Like that doesn't. What I'm saying is that doesn't mean if they lose the series, they shouldn't have been there. I'm all right with it. You know what I mean?
No, not now.
Right.
No, at this point, it's once you get to the NLCS, it's like because it's not like they're taking on a team that won 115 games. This is a Padres team that you were evenly matched with all year. You have just as enough of a chance as they do to move
Yeah.
on here.
Missing one of their best players for PEDs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like
right.
this is absolutely their chance here. They have as much. I'm sorry. They have much of a chance. I was distracted by your sister. They have much of a chance here to do something as much as any other team. Like,
But wait a
Absolutely.
minute. Wait a minute. Corner Pub Sports is the pinnacle.
of the ADD.
Yes.
Blame it on ADD.
Sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Ear piercing.
I'm sorry.
every
What you
time.
say? What? What's
Huh?
that? Huh?
Hey, what'd you say?
What's going? Oh.
What'd you
The
say?
Phillies are on.
Oh yeah. Let's go Philly. Yeah. Right. So they're gonna win in series. They're gonna win the series.
Let's go, Phillies.
I gotta turn your mic down. You're
Yeah.
screaming.
Jesus Christ, bro.
It's ear piercing.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're laughing.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
JT. All right, 2 outs though.
Yeah, so right now, bottom of the third, up 1-0, 2 outs. JT's up, bases empty. Maybe a
Yep.
home run. Maybe another dinger. Maybe
Yeah.
another dinger here. Let's see.
It's a dinger. It's a dinger.
Get on
So
base for Bryce.
at this point, are we all in agreement here? Phillies to the World Series? Are we?
Yeah.
Dare we say they're gonna
Yeah.
like you split it? You split in San Diego. You have home field advantage here. You have to make the World Series,
You
right?
still
Yeah.
got Wheeler and Nola going. You got to at least think you win one of those. You could win both.
Yeah, and I always felt that with this format, the 2-3-2, right?
Yeah.
Like I always felt, even if the home team wins every game, this format benefits the team with less home games, if you ask me.
Yep.
Because if the home teams win every game, you get to game 6 and you're facing elimination. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
Yeah.
so this format benefits the Phillies, if you ask me.
That's the thing. If you split one of those first 2 games, it's in that team's
Exactly.
favor.
Yeah.
Yep,
Exactly.
100%. Now, let's just talk about this real quick before we bring Bridget on. if you are talking about like the different sports, what sport has the greatest home field advantage?
It's always baseball.
You think
Always.
baseball has the greatest?
Absolutely.
No, I would say football.
No.
I think it's football.
Football, you can actually scream and disrupt the offense from being able to call plays.
You can
and
cause
do
a penalty.
Yeah.
From the crowd.
What about playing in Toronto?
It's
basketball.
That's
baseball.
What about playing? I mean, the Sixers were fantastic at home for years and years, and then when they played on the road, it was like a 500 record. So,
so Sean, now you're talking about front runner.
I'm not talking about front runner.
Yeah,
I'm talking about home field advantage in a sport, in a particular sport.
I'm talking about fan based. If the Sixers are hot, that's where the fans are riding.
No, I mean no, because
I don't think so. I think football
going to be selling out every game anyway.
Yeah.
It's not about that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I go football.
I think I go football too.
Yeah.
Because I don't think look at the lines Vegas puts out. They don't care what team's home. They care who's pitching. That's who gets the favorite, right?
Right.
Hockey.
The only game that matters in hockey, if you ask me, is Game 7.
Yeah, and
That's
I think
the only game that matters.
And I think basketball might be the same. Football is the one sport that if you're the home team, you automatically get 3 points.
But just
right.
I mean, I hate it. I hate that.
You hate what? That they get 3 points?
I just hate the whole idea
Of what?
Of football?
No,
You hate football. Is that what you're trying to say?
I never said that.
That's what you said.
Fuck you! I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
That's what you just said.
No. What sport is hot? What sport is hot? And your bets are hot at that particular moment. Right now, that's MLB. It is.
Okay.
We're not. I'm not sure where you're.
Yeah, I think
How many
you're
beers
on
have you had?
You're on a different topic, bro.
But that's what he asked.
No,
We're talking about home field advantage.
Yeah, we're talking about home field advantage, not betting.
All right.
But no, all right, yeah. So what you're saying is you bet on the team that's hot,
Don't help
not
him
the
out.
home three.
No, don't take him out of this. Don't take him out of this.
Trying. He needs a life ramp. Let me give him one.
All right.
Ding! Let's poll the audience.
So, by the way, for everybody in the audience, I am going to write down a player on a piece of paper. It is a Sixers player.
Who wants to win that jersey?
I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to put it in my pocket. If you can guess the Sixers player that's in my pocket.
I think the only thing he's got in his pocket.
No, it's not Ben Simmons.
And we didn't write it down yet. You got to wait.
I need a piece of paper, though, and a pencil. But I know who I already know. You know what?
Completely prepared.
No, you know what? I'll put it on my phone. I'll do that.
Right.
Somebody give his asshole a piece of paper.
Whoever can guess the player that I'm thinking of will win a James Harden jersey, an authentic James Harden jersey.
Fat,
All right?
fat, dribble, fat, fat, dribble.
All right. So what we'll do, all right, I'm gonna put it on my phone. Give me a piece of paper. Somebody get me a piece of paper.
I got the name.
You already know who it is.
Yeah, all right.
He
got
knows,
the name.
I already told him.
I got the name.
He knows who it is. So I will ask.
Do we have to write it down? I mean, I know.
Yeah, why do you need to write it down?
Right.
All right, yeah, that's right. He knows who it is.
Okay.
That's true. We don't need to do that.
Why are we making it so complicated?
I will start. So randomly, if you want to yell at randomly and think about who it is, that's fine.
World be free.
No. He played in the 90s. That's your first hint, okay? And we'll go from there. So that's a good guess.
That's a good
but no.
guess. Around the same era. It's around the same era.
Enough with the joke. No, not Charles.
No, not Charles.
All right, so think about it. That's the only hint I'm giving you. 90s Sixers player.
For now. You might get a hint later.
I'll get more hints later. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. All right, so
I'll
think
give one more hint. One more hint. He was bald.
Okay, that's a good one. He's bald, and he played in the 90s for the Sixers. He was bald then.
Yeah, he was bald then.
He's
Yeah.
probably still bald now.
He
Probably.
he might still
There's
be
no
bald.
way he grew it.
Unless he went for the Brian Urlacher treatment. That was a good guess.
No, it's
No.
not Matt Geiger.
Oh,
No,
Derek
Coleman. Good guess,
No,
though.
it's not.
Oh no,
It's not
You're
Derek
around the air.
we got two
You're
TVs
around
and
the
one's
hour.
on delay, so you get the instant replay on this one.
Oh, that
You
works.
watch this
Oh,
one,
nice.
and
All
you
right.
get the instant replay like
I'll take
10
it.
seconds later.
That deserves an instant replay.
So I think it's time to bring on our guest. Bridget, you ready? All right. So Miss Bridget Algio is going to join us on the show tonight. So this is awesome. You can adjust the mic if you need be. So Bridget has written a book called Football Family, and it's basically about her parents and mostly about her father, who was a football coach here in the Lansdale, Pennsylvania area, high school football coach. What did I say? I said Lansdale. I said Lansdale. No, I said Lansdale. It's the Philly.
Yeah.
It's the Philly in me.
Oh, wonderful. They're playing the shift, so they give up a hit.
Yeah, that's all right. So, by the way, the full title is Football Family, The Story of Jim Algio and the Rare Breed of Lansdale. So look it up on Amazon. You can buy the book. And Bridget was kind enough to give us a copy tonight. We appreciate that so much. So, Bridget, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. So your father, Jim, sadly passed away a few years ago, but the reason why you wrote the book was basically because you wanted something in print before he passed, right?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, I started writing a fiction version of Football Family, and then we moved to a documentary, which I still have, still a project I would like to complete someday. I have a lot of interviews from that. And then, one day I was driving to work. I have a lot of thinking time, and I decided that I would do the book first. And as a matter of fact, it came out 3 years ago. What's happening?
They missed the double play.
And it came out 3 years ago, and both my parents passed away literally within, my mom within weeks, my dad within 2 months.
Oh, sorry.
So it was really, something that I wanted them to see in print, and they were able to see it. My mom didn't like that there weren't pictures in it. So she was my first critic.
Gary wouldn't have liked that either, but he's not here right now. I don't know where he is. He's in the other room.
But
He wouldn't have liked it wasn't crayons involved.
I can make a coloring book. Yeah, my parents were just very inspirational, and my dad was an assistant coach for 10 years, and he actually thought he was going to get the position at North Catholic, and that they said unless Vince Lombardi applies, it's going to go to you. And he said, well, Vince Lombardi didn't apply and I didn't get it. So he was really upset. He told me that he cried when he didn't get it. And my mom, she was very supportive, and she actually found in the classifieds Lansdale Catholic. It was super small, and they didn't really ever hear of Lansdale before. And he applied and got it, and just a great tradition here, and just sports in general. Lansdale has so much football going on, and
There's so many different schools, yeah.
Yeah, and now the flag football for girls is really big here. So it's just really pretty cool because that was started by one of his players. So I feel like they had this ripple effect. My parents, they didn't really know that was going to happen when they moved here. They didn't know that my dad would be coaching for 44 years. He would win a state championship. It was just, I think they were really good role models. And so now I'm working on the screenplay. That's my next project.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. So how long has that been going on for? I know it's you're working on your third draft right now?
Yeah, so I started, so when I finished the book and published the book, I took a 2-month break, and then I started basically 2020. So I'm on the third draft, yes. So it's mostly written, but sometimes I rethink things or I never wrote a screenplay before, so it's an education. You have to teach yourself and listen to experts and things like that. So, so I'm really excited about that. It's a lot of work. It could take a while, but that really is my dream is to have their story on the screen, even if it's like a Netflix or
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be the big screen.
Yeah. How cool would that be, though?
That would be awesome. That would be.
So, do you have any ideas on who will play who?
We were just
That's a
talking
good question.
about that.
Yeah.
No, I really don't. I think about it all the time. My dad was very Irish looking. He studied to be a priest out next to Notre Dame. So I feel like that's an important thing because it's, a lot of the script is actually music because we did so much singing growing up. Not that any of us are musical, but the family as a whole. That's how we celebrated everything,
And and there's a ton of you.
There's a ton of us.
There's a ton of you. How many to be exact?
How many? Well, so I'm one of 9.
Yeah, 9
Right
kids.
in the middle. Yeah.
Her sister Ronnie is joining us as well.
Yes, and Veronica's here because she's like the Philly sports connoisseur. She's like knows everything. I'm a fan, an enthusiast, but she really does know her stuff. And so I brought her along.
So you mentioned like your dad studied at Notre Dame. So I have to ask because the first thing I thought of when you handed me the book, I've seen the cover, obviously. I've been,
Yes.
But I looked at the book and went, "Is that why you chose those uniform colors on the cover of the book for Notre Dame, or no? Am I wrong?"
So interesting. I do some graphic design, so I merged 2 pictures, and the bottom part is before the state title game.
Okay.
So that when they were bowing in prayer, and if you look real closely, you can see the cross under the title. One of Cardinal O'Hara's parents took that picture the morning that my brother passed.
No.
There was
Wow.
a cross over the field
In the clouds.
Yeah, and that summer morning, his players were going to the weight room and they were finding out because our brother passed away early in the morning, and they instinctively went up to the cross that's at Cardinal O'Hara, and that picture was taken by a parent that morning. So I blended the pictures together, and that really is kind of coincidental that it's Notre Dame, right? So, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That's fantastic. That's
really cool.
You put a lot of thought
well done.
even into the I can't read this, and I thank you for the copy.
Thank you for having me.
But the fact that you like there's so much thought in the cover alone, and how much symbolism and how much it means. That's awesome.
It's kind of interesting because it took me about a year and a half, not quite, to actually write. I would just come home. I'm a teacher. I would come home and every night just write. It took about 3 months to edit. When I finally submitted it, the cover was the thing that was taking the longest time to really nail down. It was just kind of funny because for me, the cover was like how I wanted it to be. We went back and forth a little bit on the cover. And then they worked with me to get it like the resolution we needed it to be. But yeah, that was the cover that I wanted. I wanted it to portray those 2 events that were really big in our lives. Yeah.
So if you don't mind, if you and Ronnie want to chime in, if Ronnie, if you want to chime in, tell us about your dad, Jim. Tell us a little bit about his accolades and his upbringing. And I know in 2004 he won Coach of the Year in the area. And if you don't mind, just please share away.
So my dad was he was really about so tonight on my way here, my son who's in 6th grade got word that he was making this all-star game in his first year of tackle football. And I said to him exactly what my dad would have said to us, that it's a team sport. It's not about individual accolades, but I'm excited for you because you've worked hard, and the process of working hard and trying to get better each day, both physically and mentally as an athlete, you've dedicated yourself to since 4th grade. So this is something that you've earned, and you're going to continue with that growth mindset. And that's basically stuff that we've learned from our dad. Like everything's about the process, working hard. Are you trying to get better in everything you do? He said, whatever you do, keep trying to get better. And so that's something that we've tried to also pass on to our kids. And
he was a very good role model of that himself. Like he would coach all week, have a game Friday night, get up early, go to clinics, football clinics, just to try to perfect his craft. He really did model a work ethic. He modeled his faith. He modeled how important family is. He didn't just like one of his players said, his life was the sermon that he didn't get to deliver when he initially thought he was going to be a priest. He really did. He was a great example. Both my parents were.
So, from what I'm gathering, right, being here in Lansdale, from what we've heard just tonight, is that you can't live in Lansdale and not know the Allegros. I'm sorry. I'm saying it. Right. So
that's what my brother-in-law said.
Right. So that's what we're hearing. So the question is, like, almost like celebrity status in the area. Like, was that tough? Like, everywhere you went, that somebody knows you, somebody knows your dad. Was that tough growing up like that? Like,
In some ways, I think like you knew that there was a standard that you had to live up to. We didn't ever want to let our parents down, right? But I feel like Lansdale is just a great community. I feel like there's a family feel here, and that's what I always felt. I never, I think because my dad was successful and a lot of my siblings were successful, the name is well known. But I just think it's because people were part of that success and happy for us too, and there were so many of us. And like I said, my dad was a role model. My mom was a role model. So I feel I enjoyed, all of it. I never felt like negative about it.
right.
Yeah, I never felt like we were like living up to some standard by someone else. Because we were just taught to be that way for ourselves by our parents, our mom and dad. And I just think the coolest thing though was, like, speaking of the work ethic and the process, is my dad, like, he had spent, before he won the state title in 2004, he had been coaching at LC since '68. And so the just nose to the grindstone, like working hard, having, like, putting all your care into the kids that you're coaching, and then all of a sudden, and you're hoping that he's going to have this like big moment at some point before he retires. I'll never forget the state title. Like,
that must have been awesome.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I remember getting interviewed by a reporter before the game about what this means for our family. I couldn't even like keep myself together. I was like crying, like, it's just that he's here, and then he went on to win. Like, it was like the coolest thing.
Well, yeah. So the season before the state title, the kids went no wins and 5 losses, and then mid-season they turned it around in 2003, and then at the end of that season they were 6-5. I remember them cheering like they won the Super Bowl, and I said, "What's everyone cheering about?
What's going
on?
on?
We need to make playoffs." And Ronnie told me why, but he was so happy that they had a winning season, and that was for 2003. That was good enough. And then my dad had his heart surgery, so we were really kind of not sure what was going to go on. But what I always remember about his recovery is that my dad never missed school. I mean, there were times where my mom was in the hospital delivering, and he was like, "I'm going to work." She was like, "What?" So, it was different back then, delivering children, than it is now. But anyway, when he was recovering, and he said he's not going to go back to school until next year, but he watched the Phillies all the time. Like, that was part of his. He would eat his fruit, then he would get up and walk back and forth in the house. And then he would sit down and watch the Phillies. And that was like the most I really ever saw him into the Phillies. They were like awesome. Part of his recovery. So it was just like a really special time. And then he said, "Yes, I'm coming back to teach and coach." And then they won the state title. And he was like 67 years old. So it was a great time.
Mike's going to jump on in a second. He wants to ask you guys a couple questions.
Sean, stay here. Yeah. I'm sorry. You
guys shift chairs. It's all good. Bryce Harper's up.
I know.
Perfect timing.
Oh, and he beat the
Sorry,
shift.
dead air.
He beat the shift.
Sorry, changing seats. That's what happens when you do remotes.
Rotate.
This is what happens. Rotate.
More musical
So I
chairs.
know Mike. I know Mike had quite a few questions. He wanted to ask. So
Yeah, so I know that we talked about your dad, and one of the things, I'm not sure if you brought it up, is one of the former players, Tim Quinn,
Yes.
and his wife, with the Athenia Athletics. Yes, Katie. A girls flag football league, which is awesome. Like getting girls to play football, and yeah, it's great. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I mean, if I can just jump in here, because my nephew Tim Quinn, my nephew runs airalgio.com, and he works one-on-one out with people with young. It started out with young boys, but now because of the rise of like girls flag football in the area, he works out with a lot of the girls from Athena Athletics one-on-one. And these girls, one of them's like on the 15 and under national team, and people don't realize around here how big girls flag football is. It's going to be in the 2028 Olympics.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and Lansdale Catholic just won the first regional area championship that they had down at Lincoln Financial Field. So the Eagles were all there, and they had them down on the sideline during training camp to celebrate them.
Oh, wow.
Like, and one of the girls on LC is on the 15 and under national team. I mean, it's a big deal. Like, and it's organically growing, and other countries are really into it. Like Michael, my nephew, was telling me about this one girl in Mexico. She's like huge. She has like 30,000 like Instagram followers, and she's in Mexico. Like, Mexico is really good in women's flag football, and they're going to be our probably our number one rival when we get to 2020. Yeah, they're really good. And so, but it's really exciting. And I keep trying to tell my 7-year-old daughter, like, oh, flag football, and she's like, no, I want to be a cheerleader. I'm like, okay. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to lose that battle with my 7-year-old daughter too. So she is, yeah, she's like her friends are doing it. She's in gymnastics and everything. Yeah, I can't even get her to watch football. And she's a daddy's girl too, but she's like, yeah, go Eagles. Yeah, I'm going on my tablet.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But no, that's great that it's going to be an Olympic sport,
Well,
and you guys were kind of like, you guys are like basically the pathfinders. Like you're paving the way for them. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, honestly, Tim Quinn, he's been awesome with the Athena Athletics. I mean, really, what he's doing in the Lansdale area, and therefore because of the win down at the link, what he's doing, like Philadelphia area wise, to build up so we can get this grassroots going, so we can beat Mexico in freaking 2028 in the Olympics. Like that's because Mexico just beat us for the Worlds. Like just. So we're like, we got to keep growing. And
that's
it
awesome.
starts with the younger groups as they get up, as they keep growing. And
for sure,
that's what he's doing. It's awesome.
And Katie too. Their whole family really has.
Katie's his daughter, right? Or the wife? Oh, his wife. No, there's no daughter.
All the daughters play. They all play. Really made it a family.
They're really good. Yeah,
It's great for the community. It really has been.
That's awesome.
So you guys have a huge family. Your brother Jim assists at Springford. Your nephew's at Norristown. Your brother-in-law's at North Penn. North Penn, we had North Penn people in the house. I don't know where they went.
They're out there. They're out there playing bags.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a huge. Oh, I missed again. So you guys have a huge family of coaches and assistants, and Ronnie, you coached Elena Deladani, which is amazing. That's so awesome. So, like, if you don't mind, like, I'm assuming, like, it had to be sprung from your dad, right? Like, is that true, or is it just kind of like, nope, we just want to do this on our own, or did you just follow his footsteps?
No, totally follow. Like, so I mean, I remember when I was 6 years old on a Sunday night, and back then when my dad, like, he had projectors. We had to go pick up projector tapes, and he would be breaking down his game from the Friday night
on the windshield,
like on this like pull down like window shade.
Yeah.
And I would sit on his lap, and I was like I mean, I remember one time he would just keep rewinding and going forward and rewinding and going forward. I'm like, Dad, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm looking at and he taught me the positions, the center, the guards, the tackles, the offensive line, and the way he's coming off the ball is too high. Because what he would do is he would grade it that night, every player, and then he would then they would go in the next day and watch it, and he would want them to grade themselves, and then they'd sit and compare.
Wow,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And like the best players, guess what scores the best players ever gave themselves? They were hard themselves.
Yeah,
like they would give themselves 72s. And the players who just didn't get it and didn't play well, but they'd give themselves 94s. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Eagles. Just go
So I do want to add something. So tonight, North Penn is playing Penn Ridge. So that's our brother-in-law. And last I saw was they were winning 21-0.
North
Springford
Penn was winning.
Yes, and
Nice.
And Springford plays Norristown tomorrow, according to Score Street.
Oh, so then you have your other.
So yes,
Wow.
and my dad played our brother when he was at Phoenixville in the Pac-10.
Oh, really?
These were the.
What happened? Run?
There we go. Come on. Get home.
Come on, come around. Uh-oh.
Oh, they stopped the third.
Oh, he should have stopped the third because he would have been dead dog.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
Third, run on third, 2 outs, bottom of the fourth.
Second and third. Yeah.
Oh, second and third, I'm sorry. All right, cool. Wow, that's pretty wild though. Like sitting on your dad's, did you get that opportunity too? Were you kind of in the room when he was doing that too? Or
coaching?
Well,
Like,
no, you probably weren't as much of the sitting on and watching the projector. That wasn't your thing as much, or
Well, I was actually fascinated by like the guys running backwards, more like the film technology than the actual game.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you're
I was
like,
like, how's that projector
why is he
working?
yeah. I mean, we got a little heads up that Bridget's a little bit. She's enthusiastic and everything, but she's not into the X's and O's as much as Ronnie is.
That is very true. Yes, I'm like an enthusiast. I get behind my team. But no, like Veronica, I remember my dad lost on a Friday night. She had to be like 7 or 8, and she had drawn up a play for him to use in the next game.
Yeah, that's right. That was in the write-up too. Yeah,
he used it eventually. So
was it like a Philly play?
pretty much.
Yeah, I'll bet. Like this has no way of work. All right, yeah, why not?
Most of my coaching has been like to answer a need, right? Like, they're not going to have a season unless somebody coaches, So I'm a teacher, so I've kind of filled in, but I wouldn't say that that's like my natural groove is to coach. I love the instruction and I loved playing sports. I loved everything about it. And I was a gymnast, by the way.
Okay.
And I played basketball and lacrosse and field hockey and all that. So there's hope. So don't worry.
There you go. Yeah.
Lacrosse being my favorite. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
So, taste can change. And I kind of outgrew being a gymnast in terms of size, too.
My daughter literally just started gymnastics for like in some instructional thing like 3 weeks ago.
And that is the one sport I can talk expert about.
There you go.
I get up at like 4 a.m. to watch the international competition.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, because like I watch it and I'm like, why did they do well and what did they do? I don't get it. They're like, oh, the back turn. It's shown in slow motion. I'm like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't see the difference.
I know.
They're like, they stop it at that point. I'm like, no, they're doing the same thing. I don't understand.
It's true. I know my daughter, like she's 7, and she comes up from practice 2 Mondays ago, and she's like, I have to learn how to do a back bend before or some front walker or whatever she said. And I'm like, I go, okay, well, I want to call Aunt Bridget, and she's going to come over and teach you because I have no idea. So she came over last weekend. They were working out.
Yeah, she's come a long way too.
How many nieces and nephews?
How many?
Yeah. There has to be.
21.
20 something.
Oh
20. Yeah, was
What do you guys do for Christmas?
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Oh, there's like, they just.
Do you do the Charlie's Pollyanna?
Yeah,
you have
something
to do
like that. There's got to be
no
some
way
sort of,
you guys buy for each other for birthdays.
We did that white elephant.
The white
Yeah, the white
elephant.
elephant,
I
yeah.
wasn't a big fan.
Oh, you can't say that
My
anymore,
sister
by
has
the way.
my sister and husband have a big house in Limerick.
What, the Chinese Pollyanna or
No.
the white elephant?
Oh, good question.
When you take it away, take the stuff away.
What are you like the white elephant's racist, but the Chinese
No,
Pollyanna's
that's
okay?
a good question. White elephant and Charlie's Pollyanna are both probably racist now. You probably can't say either one.
I don't understand.
That's
why
a
the
good
white
point.
elephant- Okay. Anyway, moving on.
It's basically what you're telling me is never mind.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling
probably,
me?
something
All right,
like that,
That's
yeah.
fine.
That's what they told me it was called. So I don't know what another name for it. But
No, that's what it is called. Yeah, you're right.
Now the white elephant and
I didn't
Chinese
say
Pollyanna, they're
like
all
it.
like they're interchangeable.
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't a big fan of
I'm
that.
sorry. I was opening a sidebar dialogue here.
That's all right.
That's what happens on this
So
show.
now what do you guys do?
We have
if
the
you're not
worst
doing that?
case of ADD ever. We are the worst. Actually, tonight is more contained than it's been in that.
That's gonna be 2.
See? See?
That's a little different.
Oh, that's a dark beer.
That's huge.
Oh, that's a,
Up for it.
Yes, he needed to make up for that.
Thanks.
You're right.
Yeah.
Good
Nice.
job, Gene. You're
See?
a +1 right
See,
now.
ADD.
Squirrel. So tonight
That was awesome. No, this is what we expected tonight. We knew it was gonna be like this. That's cool.
Yeah, that's how exactly.
Ever have a gal guess that you need some attention paid to your butts?
Wow,
So-
that was
so for
huge.
Christmas,
That
we
was
showed
Gene,
up-
right? Big
Yeah,
Gene.
Gene. He made up for that drop.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
huge.
totally made up for that drop.
Yeah,
I mean, 'cause that should have been double point.
that's huge. Huge. They just pick him off. Oh, and
All right,
thanks.
that's all right. That's all right.
All right, 2 mistakes and 1 good hit.
Just when I thought you couldn't do anything dumber, and you totally redeemed yourself.
So it's like the opposite of that.
It's the first day playing baseball, guys.
So Gene, yeah, like
You know what? It's fine. He drove in 2 runs. Let him alone.
I,
It's fine. There was 2 outs anyway.
So my dad, really quick, like
yes,
my,
yeah.
my
Get us back on
youngest-
track. See,
my
you're
youngest
doing
brother,
my role.
Yeah, so my youngest brother, he played quarterback and safety for my dad, and then went on and played safety and was backup quarterback for Cornell. And he's the youngest of the nine, John Patrick, and then he went on to be my dad's assistant for when he was the defensive coordinator when they won the state title.
Oh wow.
And he pushed the kids to be like he was very challenging with his looks and his pre-snap looks and getting out of it post-snap and
That John Gruden type look.
Yeah, I mean he really challenged the high school age kids like we're doing this, and he would scout the heck out of teams. So he could know, and he even did this in high school when he was a senior and they got to the state quarterfinals. He studied that he was up till 2 a.m. as a senior reading what their normal down and distance, how they would run a place, they would run what personnel packages they would put in. So when they played this highly ranked team, and LC was this huge underdog, and they had players going to Notre Dame, this highly ranked team from Harrisburg, where LaShawn McCoy had gone, and here's LC like tied with them, like 0-0 late, and the one player who was going to Notre Dame, this receiver goes, "Man, I feel like they know the play before we call it," because John would read what they were doing down in distance, read their personal. And like, they're going to do this. Watch the slant. Watch the
Wow.
And so we ended up losing like 7-6 that game. It was a great game, and he goes on, and he's a defense coordinator, and he has his first son of 4 kids in 2007, and they're coming up on the district playoffs. And my dad goes to like see him in the hospital with his new firstborn, and he's like, "Oh," and then he hands John. He goes, "Can you look at the DVD tonight? Because here's a."
He's like, you're just gonna be like feeding a baby. Like you're gonna have plenty of time to do this.
Hey, look
Trust
at
me.
this.
You got time off. Like
So Bridget. So when Bridget was describing you, I think you were dead on about her. X's and O's.
Yes.
To the T. Like she's like slant, but she's like down distance. But
Well,
you're not kidding.
And
She,
I don't like she knows her sports. She's
Yeah.
like she's not a joke. Like there's
you want to be a regular? We can get rid of Gary.
where's Gary? He's probably passed out somewhere.
Yeah, he might be.
And I have to say she's like a natural at it. She always was like that.
Yeah.
She just always had
That's
a
awesome.
knack for we were on the sidelines as statisticians, and I didn't even know half the things she was saying to me. Like when she would say, "Oh, that was okay," just how many yards, like. So I knew, my whole life she was always able to engage in all the major sports.
Yeah, I mean, Sean and I, we're idiots in basically everything else that we do in our life. We're failures, but like we pretty much know sports, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We make kids.
Everything else-
everything else we kind of suck at.
I don't know how to tie my shoes.
Yeah, it's bad.
I do the bunny ears for my tie my shoes. I can't even do that right. All that stuff.
Well, when you
But
guys
sports,
said you talk
forget
Philly
it.
sports, and Veronica has come with me before I think her personality is, great for talk radio casts and stuff. And we did a real fun one with WNPV. They have gone out of business since, but it was just a great, just talking about everything. And
That's
getting
not a
her
precursor
perspective.
for you guys. I'm just.
Oh no, that's.
But
No, we're
I
happy to-
knew she'd be able to talk Philly sports because
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
that's your
Yeah.
thing. And I thought, okay,
Just real quick.
No, I mean, like
Another-
if you've listened to our show,
Another hint. Hold on. Another hint to the
Oh, there we
jersey.
go.
Another hint.
another hit.
He went to Southern Miss. He went to Southern Miss, played in the 90s for the 76ers. Jimmy, are you listening? Sorry. He went to Southern Miss and played in the 90s for the Sixers.
That's fair. Oh, Jesus.
Was that a fair ball? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, no. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So if you listen to our show, we only talk
What
about
happened?
15
Did he
minutes of
miss that?
sports.
He
The rest of
completely
it is just
misplayed
off the
that?
rails.
Yes. Like, what is happening?
Oh my God!
How did he miss that ball?
Oh no.
I gotta be honest, dude. Like,
Yeah, he's got to go.
We've had this debate.
He's got to go.
Reese,
He's got to go.
that's all right. We made it work. They made it work. But
Yeah, but there's still a man on third. No, there's a man on third.
there's
with
only one
out.
out. It literally hit his glove and went off into foul territory. Like, and
then Segura booted it. No, he was getting a
Okay,
second
but
anyway.
Reese, this is like his third blatant defensive mistake. He had
Yes.
the error in game 2 in against Atlanta. In the
And he had
divisional
2
series.
in game 3.
And
They
then-
won it.
no,
He
they
two
had the
in game
one
3.
where there should have been a double play with Nolan, and he just dropped it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, ugh. Well,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, you could.
right.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, Castellanos is DH, and
But honestly,
Yeah, Hoskins. Yeah, you can play Castellanos. Well, you can play somebody at first. I don't know who.
Castellanos is playing first. There you go. Yeah, Sosa at third. Yeah, you're right.
They got to run back.
They bomb at first.
They got to
Nah,
run
3-2.
back. But here's the thing, though. Honestly, and I do believe this is the key to winning, is you can't let these mistakes, the pitcher included, snowball. We gave him extra out. Like, I will never forget watching the Cubs versus the Marlins, the whole Bartman thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay,
Shake
so,
it off.
So
Yeah.
if it was 10 feet further in towards the crowd, that would have never, you wouldn't have been worried about it. It would have been just a foul ball. But
Right.
the dude, remember the guy, Moses Alou, who was like freaking
Moses
out
Alou.
at the
Yeah,
guy,
yeah, yeah.
and it made the whole crowd mad, and it made the pitcher panic, and then all of a sudden it was like a 6-run inning for them. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And you know what?
Like, just be like Alvarado in like game 1. Like, he comes up, we're up 2-0, the crowd's going crazy. He walks the guy, and then boom, and Stott make this horrible, like, that was
Yeah.
horrible. And
Yeah.
then he just like, I'm getting you out, Machado. I'm striking you out, Bell. End the game.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Just move on.
And
Yeah.
you know what? Rangers done a great job of that because he did it.
Yes,
Because he
he
did it
has.
twice. Because he missed a double play that scored the run,
Yes.
and then after
Yes.
that, on this play, he just got the next
Just got
guy
the
out.
next
Yep.
guy out. You
Back
just
to
got to
business,
move
yeah.
on. Like, you just got to pick your teammates up and not let it snowball.
Yeah.
So
And that's hard. That's the mental toughness you were talking about.
It
You're talking
is.
about Elena had that.
Oh, Elena. Oh, yeah. I mean, my gosh. Like, what a joy to coach. I mean, and she was 14, 15, 16 when I coached, and we won 2 national titles, and she was hurt the final summer. So we got the national title game, but didn't win without her. And so, but the kids played tough. But anyway, I mean, she was so tough, like in the biggest moments. Even though everyone knew she was going to get the ball, and if she makes a mistake, it's all over these forums.
Oh,
She
sure,
sucks or
yeah.
whatever. But like instead, she would just make big shot after big shot in big moments. Like it was super, and that's the way you see her in the WNBA when she's healthy enough to play.
Yep.
You know?
So when you said that, like Sean remembers dates,
Yes, the like particular
right
date,
here.
like
Yeah.
Same thing. Like it'd be like, oh yeah, 1975. That's when the Flyers were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, like I remember the moment. I remember the year that, like not the
Yes.
particular year, but I remember the season. I remember what was going on,
Yeah.
but I don't remember the particular
She
year.
remembers like the play, the time of the clock.
Yeah. Now there are things that I remember about life. Like I partially remember like when I met my wife because of the year it was and what was going on with the Phillies.
Yes.
Like I
That's a cute story.
yeah, like I remember like
So
I was
what year
wearing like
are we talking?
so it was 09 when we met.
So it was the Yankees World Series year. Okay.
Right. Yep. It was So it was 09. We met in August of that year. I was wearing like an Utley jersey. She made a comment. She was like a fan. Now she doesn't. Now she hates Phillies. It's the weirdest thing. But anyway.
Well, I don't blame her since 2011 till now.
Well, yeah. I don't know. There's no cute guys
She has to
apparently.
learn to fall back in love with them.
So anyway, yeah. So we met then, and I just remember kind of like we went over to Sean's for one of the games and watched like the I think it was a championship series or something before they got to the World Series and stuff like that. I just remember I remember all the different situations and like kind of like when we kind of like actually kind of like I think we like officially started dating.
Wait, were
like,
you together when Rollins had the big hit? Were you watching that with her? The Rollins hit in the NLCS that year against the Dodgers.
I'm trying to remember. I was more than likely out at the Sheffield Tavern with my dad and Sean and DJ and Aaron. And
Awesome.
we were like jumping off the crowd, like Jimmy. I'm
See,
pretty sure I remember watching that
I
at the
tied the
Sheffield.
2008 World Series to
Well, that's
So-
08. This is 09, but 08, yeah.
Oh, all right. My son was just born. He was born in August, so he's what, 2 months, and his mother, she had a C-section and she had a hard time with it, so she was recovering. So I couldn't go out or nothing. So I'm just laying in the bed with her, watching the game.
Games, yeah.
Our son's in like the car seat on the floor, like just watching it. And like I wanted to scream, and right. So
You're like,
so it happened, and I'm like, all right, I got to go around the corner to the bar. And like I just want to. She said, go ahead. So like it just coincides.
Release.
Yeah, so it just coincides with my son being born and everything.
Oh, that's really
So,
cool.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's so awesome. I mean, they won in 08. I have a group of friends from Northeast Philly that are awesome. And so that the original Chicky and Pete's, we used to hang out there. We went there the night of the parade. That was awesome. So they're all texting about the Phillies right now.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I'm sure, yeah.
Ever since the playoffs started, we were all just texting. And like everyone was so into this. It's like, and the cool thing about this team is people were almost like, it's almost like someone that you like kind of love, but you're afraid they're going to break their heart because every year they do.
Yes,
So they
yes.
kind of waited. And then all of a sudden when they beat St. Louis and then they split
Now,
with the Braves, then they come
yes.
back to Citizens Bank and everyone's like, woo!
And
Like,
you forgot what this felt like because it's been so long. Like
It's so true.
so
yeah.
when they bounced back in Game 1 against St. Louis and they scored them runs in the ninth inning, I remember like watching that game. And we're getting to it, like when I forget who it was who hit the home run in the seventh, I think it was, for the Cardinals to give them the 2-run lead.
oh, yeah. It was the eighth against Alvarado.
It was
Yeah,
the eighth
yeah.
inning. So like you're like, come on, man, did we get here just to do this?
You thought it was a Rocky series in 07 all over again.
Yes. So that like then they pull it off, and you're like, oh my God, like
I know.
like
Yeah.
you forgot about the anxiety
I
and sitting on the edge of the seat and yelling at the TV.
Yeah,
like
at a
you
play.
forgot.
Yes.
I know. So like game 2 against the Braves, when freaking Acuna was like I'm in the basement of my house, so I don't wake anybody up, and I'm like, Acuna was 13 minutes milking that freaking thing while Wheeler's standing there,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I start screaming at
Yeah.
the TV at the umps, make a decision, get them in or out,
Mhm.
Yep.
in or out. But this is ridiculous. Oh my!
Yeah,
Oh,
that was definitely
yeah,
that was definitely
yeah.
intentional.
Next year, you won't have that problem. Pitch clock, all that stuff,
Yeah,
all
that's
the
not- yeah,
adjusting your
yeah,
batting gloves,
yep.
it's gone.
No, that's gonna be awesome.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh my God.
So what do you feel about them? Though? Like, so we're gonna have a pitch clock next year. The
Yeah, do you like the
shift,
changes?
You can't shift.
Well, okay. So the pitch clock I think is really good. The shift, I'm always like, I don't know. I feel like that's a strategy, and
I don't
so
like being told you can't do it. Like I hate the shift.
I hate the shift too. But
But
then
I don't
push
like
it to the other
right,
side, like
right.
adjust.
Like learn how to hit the
Yes.
other way.
Like
Learn how to hit the other way.
Yeah,
Ryan and
that's
I
not-
both said he was on the other side of it. He's like, you got to play the. Ryan and I said exactly what you said. We absolutely hate the shift. We hate the fact that they could do it. We hate the analytics of the game, but we hate the fact that you're changing the rules of the game. Like it's if you're allowed to do it, learn.
Exactly. Like I mean, like okay, so but in football, like Jalen Hurts last year struggled rolling out to his left. So people blitz from the left.
Right.
They blitz from the right to his right to force him to his
Adjust
left.
your game.
So then he spent the summer working on rotational
And,
He's setting his feet.
And
And
God
look-
bless him for it.
and look what you're getting out of him right now. Like he's adjusted. He's a much better quarterback right now than he was last year.
Because he worked on it.
Right.
So if someone's shifting you all the way over here, and Harper can do it because he's hit 2 opposite field home
Yes.
runs this playoffs.
Mhm.
So just boom, just slap it. Whatever you have to do, adjust, work on it. But just to be like, sorry, can't do it's not good for the optics and excitement
Right.
of the game.
The
That's crap. I don't
analytics.
like
Oh
that.
yeah, we can't hit
I don't
home
like
runs
that.
if we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So
Is it your turn? I can rotate out.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys have any more stories or anything, or Richard? Like,
I only
what
have
do
one
you
more
have?
story.
Yeah,
It's
go ahead. Well,
baseball related. Our
Yeah.
brother.
go for it.
So one morning, he didn't come downstairs to go to school. And I was probably like in 4th grade. My mom said, go upstairs and get Danny. And he was all the way on the 3rd floor. And I go, he's not up there. I came down. She goes, go look again. I went in every room. Looked in the yard. I looked on the porch. I looked everywhere. So was he out to the car? He is not here. She goes, oh, okay, just go to school. So I go to school and I'm like, my brother's missing. Is he what?
Jesus, yeah.
Well, my mom figured something was up, but they didn't tell me this. Like I was like, what, 10 when this happened? They told me like I was almost 40 when I found out what really happened. And it was he got up early before the whole house. And he hopped the train to go to Philadelphia. He's 12 years old. To be Mike Schmidt's bat boy. He was going to
Oh, that's awesome.
approach Mike Schmidt with a proposal that he should be his
Oh, my
bat boy,
God.
then quit school at 6th grade and decide this is the way it's good to
This is it. This is
so
the
I
living
get
dream.
home from school and he's sleeping upstairs. And I was like, where was he? And he's
Would
like,
have would have
"No."
read behind, I'm sure.
My mom said he was asleep and you just didn't see him. I was like, okay, no, he was not there. And I found out like 30 years later.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It
So-
took 30 years for them to own up to it, huh?
Yeah, they
That's
finally
great.
told me. Yeah. So
So how much trouble did he get into? Well, I guess you didn't know.
he didn't appear to get in a whole lot of trouble. I think they were just so happy that.
Oh,
like,
you know what?
He
Yeah.
panicked when he got down there and went into a phone booth, which don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess,
Great
like,
story.
yeah, someone from St. Stan's had friends there to stay with him until I get there, and so
Oh my
I was kind of like thinking that just the whole idea that you could just drop out of school and be a bat boy.
Well,
for a
and think
living.
about it. Back then, you don't have cell phones. Like
Right.
most
Oh,
12-year-olds
yeah,
have
for
cell
sure.
phones. So you're like, "Are you okay? Where are you?" Like, no, it's like you just have to go find them. Like, there's not like how are you going to get hold of them?
Right.
Otherwise, that's scary.
Yeah, and you know what? You said you were like, how old were you? Like 10? 10. So
Yeah.
you're 10 years old. Your parents are trying to protect you from what's going on. They're freaking out. They're just like, yeah, just go to school. Everything's okay. Well, in their mind, they got to be going nuts. Because, like, I could
You're
just,
a kid like
Well,
that.
yeah,
they
no,
could've-
because
they
I'm
could've
thinking
told me
about,
before I was 40.
well, yeah, I mean, that,
I was like, what?
yeah, like, yeah, you're sitting around drinking. Oh, yeah, remember back then what happened? Yeah. Oh, we never told you?
They made me think that they said he was home the whole time, and I just didn't see him. So I was like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He was
No.
a really neat person. He loved Philly sports, and anything
Love,
I know
love.
about Philly sports, a lot of it was from like he would get like the pictures from inside the Philadelphia Inquirer, paste them all over. the
Oh,
wall.
yeah.
I knew like every player. You know,
That's awesome.
He would fall asleep to like listening to the radio. He's just
Yeah.
a big So there was
Yeah,
that.
he was
definitely
he
love
was
for-
like my like a lot of my siblings love sports and know a bunch, but he really knew a lot, and we love talking
Yeah.
about all
Philly.
the Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, Eagles growing up, and like he would be the one who would talk to me about the Flyers because not everybody's like as into the Flyers until like the playoffs or whatever. And
Right.
it was really cool. Like I mean I miss him for a lot of reasons, but obviously that's one of them, just to have that kind of going back and forth.
Yeah,
he
he
always
does.
when we would go to Seattle City, even when up until he passed, like he would always every morning get up on vacation and walk down and get the Philadelphia Daily News because they had the
Yeah.
best sports section, and then we were like,
Right.
yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice.
Yeah, I do miss that. I do miss the reading the paper.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was always a big event, like when all the college magazines, like previews came out.
Yeah.
My brother would get them and like lay them out on the table, and everybody would be not
Yeah.
not me necessarily, but like my dad and brothers and Veronica would all be like, oh, yeah, it was. I agree. There's something to, and we have a sports writer that came tonight. He used to write. He covered a lot of my dad's games, including the one that was the Philadelphia Inquirer of the Year.
Game of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
He covered that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
How far are we going back? What year?
Okay, so the Philadelphia Inquirer's Game of the Year would have been the fall season of 1984.
84 at the A
Field in Conshohocken, Lansdale Catholic, and against heavily favored Kennedy, played to a 22-22 tie in an epic battle. And back then they didn't have overtime, so just ended in a freaking tie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, remember that, Chris? Yeah.
He's still mad about it.
Yeah, didn't we win
Bring
that
him
game?
Over. Come on over here. You got to talk.
Oh, here.
Give him a microphone.
Come on over. Here, you take my.
Let him sit down.
You guys do it.
Take him out. Oh, Suarez.
Yep. So you wrote for the Inquirer.
Later on, but I was the North Penn reporter at that time of that game. I was doing the desk, which is the layout that night, and I snuck out. Like I had to get the paper out because our deadline was like 11 o'clock. And at 7 o'clock, I just said, the heck with it. I'm leaving. I just left, drove to Conshohocken from Lansdale, got parked. It was jumped a fence to get. It was towards the end of the first half, and Danny Algio, rest his soul, runs over to me and says, "I can't believe you're here. We're doing great." And he's getting all rowdy and crazy as Danny does. And I got excited because I had arguments with the Norristown Times Herald writers. They were saying, Kennedy's going to kill LC. And I'm like, I don't know. LC's pretty good. So it was unbelievable. LC's winning by 8 with 2 minutes left. Kennedy drives down the field, scores a touchdown with seconds left. So now it's 22-20.
And the clock stopped working.
The clock stopped. We didn't even know how much time there was, though. So they go for the 2-point conversion, and their quarterback drops the ball, the snap. It bounces right into the hands of this Jim Borkowski.
Oh, my God.
Super great football player, runs it in. Any other bounce, then it's
22, the game's over.
22-20 LC. Unbelievable game.
Let's hear your most memorable moment.
As the writer, or
no, as a writer in your heart, what was your most memorable moment?
Covering what you mean involved that's related to Lansdale Catholic,
or just in general?
Oh,
let's hear it.
I covered a Lansdale Catholic. This isn't football; it's basketball, but it shows what Lansdale Catholic was about. They played at Holy Ghost Prep in 1984, and there was like a little fight at the end of the game. And Holy Ghost came back to LC for like the big game for the league title, Bicentennial League. And the place was that it's a small gym. It was completely packed. All the football players were there ready for a fight. Like it was unbelievable. And I just sat on the stage because it's,
no room to sit.
There's no room to sit. So I sat on the stage, like right under the basket, right there, waiting for something to happen. Lansdale killed them. And it was just
John
a great
Gaffney,
game.
right?
John Gaffney, yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
Nice.
Ronnie knows that.
That's a great story, man.
Yeah, it was just funny because all the football players were together in one section. You remember that? They were like, nothing's going to happen here.
The student body section.
Yeah, student body section.
They call themselves the pit.
Yeah.
There's no way Holy Ghost was going to start anything.
That's a great story.
Oh yeah. All right. The best game was this. Gwynedd Mercy became really good in girls basketball when Bridget was a senior and Ronnie was a junior, and beat LC during the regular season at where was it? At
Beat us
Gwynedd.
at LC. They beat us.
Did they?
Yes, early this season.
They beat LC, and they had a couple girls who were daughters of a former great college basketball player named Frank Carassi, and they were really good. And they came. Where was the game when you beat them?
At Gwynedd.
At Gwynedd.
Yeah.
And LC killed them. Oh my God, they killed them.
Nice.
We were down
killed
15-1 to start the game.
Was it?
And
And then they
came back
murdered
and-
them.
yeah.
LC murdered them. won the league title, but Gwinnett
Yep, it
then
was
lost the
awesome.
game.
That's great. That's great
And Bridget
stuff.
was the league MVP that
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Elsie went into
That's
the
awesome.
districts. Didn't win a district game that year, but the next year, Ronnie's senior year, district champions. I remember her stealing the ball about 8 times in that game. You had like 8 steals. Yeah, she was like a little point guard, like, get out of my way.
Nice.
That's awesome. She's so humble over there. That's great.
I was not the scorer or the rebounder. I was like the facilitator, steals,
Yeah.
assists. Yeah.
She could shoot, though.
Nice.
But Bridget was the points and the rebounder. Yeah.
Do we have anybody out in the fans that want to share a memorable sports moment? Let's hear it. Who wants to share it?
No? All right. All right, guys. Well, I mean, just giving a check-in on the game. We're in the top of the 6th. I think Eflin's pitching. We're still up 3-2. He's not pitching game 4. Clearly not. No. So I guess it'll be Syndergaard or Volter. Syndergaard, yeah. Yeah, so we got 1 and 2, 1 out, man on first.
Let's go, Phillies! Let's go, Phillies!
So, is this Eflin's first appearance in this series? Or did he
No,
do
I
game
think
one?
I think he pitched in
one?
game 1,
Okay.
an inning at least.
And Falter hasn't pitched at all.
I don't think Falter's pitched a single a
Not
batter
at
at
all.
all
The whole
in the postseason.
Now,
Which is
I get the
weird,
Braves
yeah.
thing because they hit lefties well.
Right.
But I'm happy. I hope they pitch them this series.
Yeah, I mean, you would think. See, I was surprised that he didn't pitch against the Braves last series.
Driving down the freeway.
Backing up Syndergaard. I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, we have side conversations in this too. Like, where
I love it.
There's
Yeah.
2 different conversations going on at one time on the show.
What's
that?
Oh, 10. It's 10.
Oh, 1 out. Uh-oh. No, just 1 mid single.
Mike, I got a 10.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like.
I got a 10%. I'm going to have to go over here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm actually going to step out too. So, Ryan, why don't you step back in?
Let's talk some Eagles.
Rotating.
Oh, all right.
It's like a volleyball game.
All right, let's talk some birds.
How about if you get a little taste of Landon Dickerson coming right down your throat?
That's right. You think we're going to miss that?
G-L-E-S-E-O.
Wait, hold on. I got something to say. Hold on. Why was that? Yeah, you did. Why was that louder than the Phillies chant? Why was that louder than the Phillies chant? Oh, because everyone can spell? That's why. Yeah. 6-0. Philadelphia Eagles 6-0. Are you kidding me? I know. We already did it.
We already did it.
We already
Eagles.
We already did it.
So actually, the odds came out from Vegas today. 4-1 odds that the Eagles are 13-0 before they lose a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Me too.
I say they lose by game 11. There's a stretch. Tennessee,
Yep,
Indianapolis, the Giants,
and the Packers.
They lose.
But it's three in a row on the road. It's Tennessee, Indianapolis, and the Packers.
That's tough.
Yeah,
You're gonna lose one of those.
Packers is home. No, Packers game's home.
then what is it? The Giants.
Tennessee's
So
home.
the Giants, yeah.
There
Giants.
is 3 straight.
Giants
road
are on the
games.
road. Giants
Yeah.
on the road. Yeah,
There
he's
is
right.
3 straight road games.
Well, no, the Giants are late in the season on the road because I've looked into going to that game. So I think the early. What is that considered the late season game?
Gary, your schedule. Give me your schedule. No, he has a schedule already loose in his pocket. He has it handy for times like these. It's times like these you learn to love again. All right. So, yeah. So there's a stretch here. They got at Indianapolis. No, it was completely wrong. Oh, your 3-game stretch is after that. He's right. There is a 3-game stretch. It's at Indy, home against the Packers, home against Tennessee, and then at the Giants, at Chicago, at Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're going to lose. Like,
Chicago.
I think that 3-game stretch, though, Indy, Packers, Tennessee, you're going to lose one of those games.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to lose. They're not. Why do you think the Giants? I got to tell you.
Yeah, I'm out on this Giants hype.
The Giants are
They're not real.
Giants are fugazi.
They're fugazi.
They're not
real.
Yeah, they're not real.
Remember what was it last year or the year before? The Cardinals were 7-0.
Well, last year, yeah.
Was it last year?
Yep.
They were
And everybody knew.
Yeah.
Like everybody knew.
I do think though the difference is, I would take Dable as a head coach over.
He's a
Kingsbury.
great coach. He's a good coach.
And he's a hard ass. Like he challenges his players in a way that they're going to respond to him,
Right.
not just to be a hard ass. And I like Kingsbury. I don't think like look how Kyler Murray was talking to him last night. You know, calm the fuck down.
Screaming at him.
Like,
Yeah.
what? So I mean, I really think Dable is like really good, and I think that because they're starting to get some early season success, and you
Right.
guys know on any level of confidence as an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
like then all of a sudden they start to get a little bit like, oh, we're actually pretty good, and
Yeah.
that goes a long way. So I mean, I thought the first few games I was doubtful, but I'm not. I'm actually starting to think like we got to make sure when we played them, the Eagles played them, that we play well because he has them playing organized, smarter. He gets on Jones for stupid mistakes. And then before he's approved because he knows he can't just get away with it from a soft coach or whatever.
And
I think he's slowly turning them around. I'm not saying they're going to end up like beating us for the division or that they're even going to place ahead of Dallas, whose defense is really good. But
Right. They're becoming a sound football team.
Yeah.
Brian DeBall is a good coach. I was in on Brian DeBall before we hired Sirianni.
Yeah.
I like Brian DeBall. But bottom line, it comes down to talent. There's not talent on that team. It's Saquon Barkley on offense. That's it.
Yeah.
And now they are playing better defense. So they're not putting themselves in bad situations.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry. Another hint for the James Harden jersey. He wore 2 numbers in his career. He played in the 90s, right? He played for Southern Miss. He wore 30, and he also wore number 35.
And he was bald.
Well, he's not bald now, though.
He's got more hair
No, he's
now?
not bald now. He has
Really?
hair. Yeah, he has hair now.
That's funny.
Yeah.
3-5.
So he played with Allen
3-5.
Iverson. He played with Allen Iverson. All right. You think you know?
You don't count, though.
You
You're
don't
not
count.
winning the
You're part of the
jersey.
show. It is not E. And maybe I'll give one more hint. Hold on. Let me think. He was
Anybody?
Another hint. He was a power forward. All right. Those are my hints.
Come on, any Sixers fan should know this by now.
All right. She's thinking long and hard here.
Yeah, you see the smoke coming out of her head.
Yeah, she's going over every player from the 90s. She's like, wait.
Hair's
But
burning.
it must have been the late.
All right, I'll
90s.
give
If
another
you're saying-
hint.
If you're saying like he played with
He was a first-round draft pick, and he's picked 9th overall in 1992.
Come on,
Stackhouse.
listeners.
No.
No.
Come on.
Who did you say?
Stackhouse went to
Oh,
North
that's good.
Carolina.
That was George Jerry Scout's house. That's a good guess.
That's a
though.
good guess, but he went to North Carolina.
They have 1,700 brothers and sisters. I'll give it to one of them. Someone will wear it. It's not an SH. No, it's not. Oh, that's good though.
Good guess.
No,
though.
it's not.
That's a good guess.
If I give you, all right.
Give the initials.
No, don't.
No, I'll give the first initial of his first name is the C.
Shut up!
Shut up, Mike!
You don't count.
C. Man. No, it's not Christian Welb. But your initials, CW, were correct. CW are his initials.
Weak and soft, you mean?
Come on,
we didn't say your barn's on fire.
Ronnie is thinking along. Look at her. She is steaming right now. Southern Miss, ninth pick in 1992. CW are his initials. Power forward.
He was a solid player, man.
Wore one of the ugliest Sixers jerseys of all time with the stars going down.
Yep.
There it is. He got it. He got the jersey. Now, I don't know if it's going to fit you because it's an extra large, but it's yours. Well done, sir. Clarence Weatherspoon.
1, 2, 3, 4, 76ers.
What the fuck?
Who cares?
Nice. Dude, actually, it might fit you. It might fit you.
Put it on. Put it on. Put it on.
It's like you got signed by the team.
Put it on.
Yeah, he's got the jersey
Yeah.
on.
It fits. That's a good fit. That's a good fit. Nice. Nice. I can guarantee you Clarence Weatherspoon isn't injured right now, though. All right, so back to the Eagles real quick. And then
you were saying that you don't, so you're not a believer in the Giants.
Right. They're a better football team.
Right.
They are, just because they're coached better. But when it's all said and done,
The
I
roster's not there.
think the Giants finished third in the division.
Okay, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, scissor me timbers.
That doesn't. I just want. I just want to play it. What happened to another TV? Lost one of the TVs. Huh? It's 3-2. Yeah, we lost it. We lost it on that TV.
So you don't
It's
think
all right.
we're going 13-0?
No, I don't think they get to 13 and
No, I think they go-
I
think they get to 11-0.
I actually think they lose to Pittsburgh.
What?
I do.
What?
Yeah.
They ain't losing the fucking
No,
Pittsburgh.
they're not losing.
They don't win in Pittsburgh.
They're not playing in Pittsburgh. They're
Yes, they
here.
are. No.
It's home in Lincoln Financial Field.
That game's here.
Yes.
All right, that
We
changes
said
things.
that earlier.
That changes things. I thought that game was in Pittsburgh. They do.
It's not the first time we've ever done a podcast.
It's what?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. Just
say nothing.
play it back on the replay. Play it back. It's home here. That change things? That change your mind? Free your mind. Don't be so shallow.
You're such a dick.
No,
You
he's
really
not.
are.
Oh, he's speaking truth.
All right, so I'm sorry. I thought that game was in Pittsburgh.
Dan, big Eagles fan back there. Where do the Eagles go before they lose their first game? Yeah.
Let's hear it, Tenius.
13-0. So you should bet the 4-1 odds then. Wow. I think they lose. I think they're going to lose one of those crap. They're going to lose that Indianapolis, Tennessee, one of those two games. They're
Giants.
going to go 11-0 and they're going to lose one. I don't know. I don't look at the schedule.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, but it's going to be one of those games where they should win. They're going to lose
I
it.
think they lose to
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Oh, thank goodness they don't play Cincinnati, right, CJ?
Mike
Oh, thank
said-
goodness.
Mike said they're the only 10 he sees.
I think 11-0, and they'll lose their first game. Yeah, 11-0. Yeah.
All right, so you would have them beating the Steelers, the Texans, the Commanders, the Colts, and the Packers.
The Packers are shit.
So you think their first loss would be the Titans at home?
Yeah, I think it's about That's at home.
I mean, it makes so like the longer you go on undefeated and your only team, everyone's like bringing their A game to be the first one.
Yeah, you get everybody's best shot.
And then, so you're like not as up all the time, but they're always up for you. Like,
Right.
That's not a,
Oh. You're gonna score? All right. All right. Cool.
Like the Phillies are. I mean,
that jersey fits you well, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
Yeah. Come on over here. Come on, brother. Come on, you gotta do it.
Do what?
Do what?
What do you want him to do?
Oh, he's gotta do his stand-in.
What does that even mean?
Right here.
I'm so glad I gave you that 10%er.
Don't tell me to shut the fuck up.
Don't tell me, guy.
It's a unicorn.
It is. How many? All right. So how many outs we got? 2. 2 outs. Man on second. Castellanos is.
Come on, bomb. Come
All
on,
right.
bomb.
Let's see what happens here.
What?
Yep.
Yeah!
Base hit by Alec Baum. Brings in another run. It's 4-2 Phillies. Yeah. Yeah, baby. That's awesome stuff. All right. I say we bring Bridget on and close out the show so we can watch the Phillies. What do you think? Bridget, you want to jump back on? Bridget, jump on the end here. So, Bridget, so first of all, thank you so much for joining us tonight here at Local Tap. Thank you, Teresa, for having us tonight, of course. But Bridget, please sell away. Football Family on Amazon. Find it. What are your socials? How can people reach you?
So we have Instagram. That's Rare Breed Forever. Amazon is where most people seem to go to buy it. Rare Breed Nation, LLC.org.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
The Rare Breed.
Yes.
There are so many references in that book about Rare Breed. What's the Rare Breed?
Well, gosh, I mean, in the beginning of my dad's career there, he really wanted to establish a level of excellence. And at the time, there was a lot of youth like turning to drugs, because it was like the late 60s, early 70s. And he was basically trying to say, like, you get satisfaction out of, finding your passion, pursuing excellence, being a responsible family member. You don't look to artificial things. That was really the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of just grew into this. Like, it's still called the Rare Breed. That we call the team playing now the Young Rare Breed. And people have different definitions of it, but I really do think it was to be set apart. You were set apart. A lot of opposition would describe the Rare Breed as like the team that never gave up. Just like a specialness to them. But yeah, so the Rare Breed is what they've always been known as since, I would say, the late 60s, early 70s. That's what he called them and the community called them. And so that's kind of stuff.
That's awesome. Like front Lehigh, second Lehigh.
And I do want to say
Franklin Lehigh.
He
Rare Breed.
Even
Rare
like
Breed.
one thing about it is a movie, by the way, like a Western with Jimmy Stewart. I do know that, but he didn't know that when he named it.
Mm-hmm.
Sports is such like a unifying thing, and I think like we grew up with that. Like we would go to each other's games. We would go to all my dad's games. I really wasn't a big fan in the beginning when I was in kindergarten, like because we would go out to Reading. It was like an hour-and-a-half drive. That was like your whole Saturday. But then, it's really hard to resist the excitement of sports, right? And it is a unifying thing. That's what I always, really love about sports, that people just get into it and it brings a lot of joy. And I'm just really glad, for his example.
That's awesome.
It's just something that I want people to, experience whatever sport it is. And you don't have to be an expert to enjoy it, right? Just have a basic understanding and a love of competition. So, yeah. But most Amazon, if you go Amazon Football Family, it's also on Barnes & Noble. It's I think at our local Barnes & Noble. And rarebreednationllc.org. There's a Rare Breed Nation Facebook page. You'll find us anywhere, really. So thank you so much for having me today.
This is awesome.
This is great time.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to reading the whole thing. That's going to be awesome. And thank you so much for the copy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And Ronnie, thank you so much for adding everything. Great stories.
Bridget and Ronnie, give it up.
Yeah.
No, we thank you so much.
No, we're just gonna call it a
we're
show.
closing it out. We're gonna watch the Phillies and we're gonna call it a night. So thank you guys so much. And Corner Pub Sports. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for following us, Mike.
Thank you, Local Tap. Peace out.